People don't care. They like that these podcasts seem incredibly unprofessional with all the background noise. If people can deal with my background noise, surely they can deal with yours.
Yeah, guys, welcome to another episode of the Laugh Sound Podcast. I am in a different location. I'm in my parents' basement. So if it sounds echoey, if it sounds creaky, if it sounds like people are talking upstairs, it's because they might be. And I hope you guys can just deal with that. I'm like putting on my best, did you ever listen to Delilah? Do you know what I'm talking about? She's like a radio host that I thought was local just to me. And then I later found out that's not how radio works. And it's like a radio show that is like across the nation. And it's like after 9 p.m. and people like call in and ask for advice on like their love life. And she talks in like this like very like this type of voice. You know what I mean? Almost as if she's whispering because it's past 9 p.m. But it's like, you don't have to do that. You know what I mean? But like I'm doing it because if I talk too loud, the echo gets worse and it becomes unmanageable. So today you could be listening to Delilah or this, you know what I mean? Same difference, really. When you think
I'm kind of vibing with it though, like the quiet little talking. Should we just do an ASMR podcast? I know you've wanted it. Should we
I think today's
pull the trigger?
Like we just kind of like talk softly and like maybe if you guys are listening, like you can pretend like we're letting you in on like a little secret. Yeah. You guys are the only ones that get to know.
We have talked about like people listening to our podcast to fall asleep, and we're like, that's insane because we're loud and obnoxious.
Unsettling.
But maybe this is the one. This is the one that you can listen to fall asleep.
Yeah. So welcome to another episode of the Laugh Sound Podcast. We are officially... Oh, well, my name's Andrea. What's your name?
Oh, I'm MJ.
Oh, okay. Glad we got that out of the way. We're officially a 4.9 podcast again on Spotify. We took things a little too far and somebody had finally had enough. But if you guys don't feel like we're a 4.9 podcast, feel free to leave a 5-star review on Spotify, Apple, subscribe on YouTube, whatever your heart's desire. And welcome to another episode. We don't have any NASCAR to cover for the first time in what feels like a million years. We, of course, have no IndyCar. That series is basically dead, right? Like, it's been so long gone. I don't know what she's up to. But we did have an F1 race. Do we want to start with the F1 race or do we want to start with the random news of IndyCar and NASCAR?
I say let's start with the F1 race.
Okay.
Just because
give the people what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
So they can, if they would like, depart at a later time in this podcast and feel like, I got out of this what I needed to get out of it. Okay. So we started off the week with a little bit of a silly season news, I guess. I guess none of us thought that it would go any differently, but Franco has been re-signed to Alpine for 2026. I guess we didn't think that was going to go any other way, right?
No, I don't really think there was ever a doubt in my mind. It was more like, why would you do that? But that doesn't really factor into any of these decisions.
Your personal confusion by the choice doesn't.
Yeah, me being like, why would you continue to? After you sign Pierre Gasly, and you're like, this is our number one driver. I'm like not surprised that you're going to sign Franco for another year. Like, no, yeah, sure.
I feel like. I feel for Franco because it's like we've already established that the Alpine is kind of shit and the team is kind of shit. And they've said, hey, we're going to be kind of shit, right? So I'm like, maybe he's not that bad.
Which is, I think is valid. I don't think he is that bad. I think it's totally fine for a rookie to drive like a rookie. But when you're in like a program like Alpine that does not give a flying fuck about developing their drivers at all, as apparent by Pierre, which is hard because he did have a good weekend this weekend. So like pretend like I'm saying this literally any other weekend.
Take all of the other weekends and we'll just run with those.
Yeah. The timing's not great. But it's like, sure, fuck it, sign him again. Like you didn't care to develop Jack Doohan and he was going to be fine. Like whatever, just congrats Franco, I guess, or sorry that happened.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I do miss Jack. Jackie Poo, what are you up to?
Apparently he went to Japan to try to test for super formula, which I only know based off of like one of those IndyCar expert posts on Instagram. So I'm just not sure if it's true or not, but I'm going to take it and run with it the way that people did the Yuki rumor.
Yeah, why not? Did we have any other pre-race news this week? I don't think we did. All I have is the Franco thing. Oh, I had one. It doesn't really matter much anymore, actually. But we can still talk about it if you want to shit on Zach Brown. Would you like to shit on Zach Brown, even if it doesn't really apply to anymore?
No, I would love to.
Okay, so they were asking Zach Brown, like, would you rather, which I'm like, great way to start a question. Would you rather like prioritize one of your two drivers or have like a 2007 situation happen where like the two drivers on the same team are battling so much that like somebody from some other team wins by 1 point? What is that?
I'm sorry, someone is vacuuming directly outside of my door on the floorboards. 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Anyways, Zach Brown.
You have something in front of your door that they were like, I've gotta get this right now. It's gonna bother me. You know what this episode is giving, kind of? This episode is kind of giving actually one of our highest performing episodes of all time, where I was in the gamer oasis. And like everything was just kind of like chaotic because we changed locations. Like nothing really was like going our way, but one of our best performing episodes. So maybe that's what we're gonna have here, maybe. Right, guys? Maybe. Anyways, so they asked Zach Brown, would you rather prioritize a driver or have another driver sneak in from another team and win by like 1 point because your two drivers keep taking points off of each other? And Zach Brown was like, I would rather somebody else win than prioritize a driver. Now, if it didn't come from Zach Brown, I feel like I'm like, okay, word, yeah, let's fight it out. But because it's coming from Zach Brown, do you feel like we should maybe try to find a reason to hate on him for it?
I think I would have that same feeling if anybody said that. So I think this is me being impartial and unbiased. I do hate Zach Brown though. So like checking my bias as like a checked luggage. It's coming with me.
A $30 fee. Better not be overweight.
It's worth it though.
Right.
It's over 50 pounds. I don't care. I'll pay the extra.
I'm not paying for travel size liquids. Get fucked. You know what I mean?
No. It's a big bag. But we have to let him. Why is he even talking? He's not the team principal. He's on the pit wall because he owns part of the team. It's like, dude, can't you go fuck off and like deal with this hypercar thing? Can't you go to like annoy Pato in IndyCar? Shouldn't you be in court right now? Why are we talking to him?
Have you considered Zach Brown? He just kind of wants to hang out.
He's chronically hanging out and it annoys the shit out of me. He's hanging out everywhere. He's hanging out with the Andrettis for some reason. He's hanging out in golf carts, zooming around, hitting our friends with them. Like that like almost hit him.
Oh. Yeah, I think he just
I don't know if I could say that he hit them if he didn't actually hit them. But
he tried.
I don't know. I think that that's a crazy take. Like, wouldn't you? And first of all, it's not true because he would love nothing more than to sacrifice Oscar.
Yeah,
like let's be for real.
I was just like, it kind of felt like maybe they're like too online, so they're like aware of the criticisms they get by like meddling too much and like prioritizing drivers and like doing the whole like team game and not letting them just race, that he kind of is saying it in a way of like, this is what you want to hear me say, but I don't believe it. You're right. It's not coming from the heart.
Yeah. I could see him saying this just to like troll us and be like, this one's really going to piss people off. What? You guys want to see me do something funny? Give me the microphone.
Hey guys, watch this.
Yeah,
we gotta stop giving him the microphone. I don't really know what that's all about.
He's the new Helmut Marko, truly.
Just giving like wild out of left field quotes.
Yeah.
Okay, well that was fun. I'm glad we got to shit on him. It doesn't really matter anymore. And we can get into why. The maths is not really math scene anymore. So like it's not really a situation that they're in. But we can chat about that. But first, we have to talk about a sprint race. How much fun did you have with the sprint race? Did you remember this time? Last time you said you forgot.
I did forget during qualifying, but I remembered when it came to the sprint race. So I think that counts for something.
Kind of sounds a lot like you forgot again.
No, I did. No, I did forget.
Right.
And then I got like the notification from my Alex Albon app that was like, we got P whatever in qualifying. And I was like, it's Friday, my guy.
You're like, what?
Qualifying?
Yeah, here's the thing. I think that the sprint races, can I deny the entertainment value? No. Do I think a sprint qualifying is more fun than an FP2? Yes. Do I understand that they're a gimmick? And as we've learned with NASCAR and IndyCar and whatever else, like all gimmicks come back to bite you in the ass someday? Yes. But for now, can we have fun?
Yeah.
I
had fun.
I thought it was fun too because it was a little bit rainy out, which was good because it ended up not being rainy for qualifying or the race. So this was kind of like the only chance that we got to like experience a little bit of rainy. It wasn't actually raining. It had just rained and the track was wet, but they were like fine with using like regular tires, which I kind of feel like is like prime, right? Because it's like not fun when it's actually raining because it's like they're just all gonna circulate behind a safety car probably.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like fun when it's like, we're playing with a little danger here. Like we're not quite on the wet tires, but maybe we should be. I like a little danger. But it was fun. We had Lando starting at pole. I'll spoil it for you. That's where he finishes. Yeah, it was that easy, folks.
Whoa.
Turns out, starting on pole, pretty favorable place to start. We had Kimi starting second. And I was like, Kimi Antonelli, what are you doing up here? How did you get up here? Turns out he got up there by just being fast. I thought something much worse had happened because I didn't actually watch qualifying live, and I just saw that he had gotten second, and I was like, ooh, something terrible has occurred here. Then I watched, and I was like, no, he's just fast. That's good.
Crazy how that works.
I'll spoil this for you as well. He ends up finishing second, but he does kind of keep up with Lando at the end. I will say I think Lando was kind of like, he was keeping him out of DRS range. And then if he got a little too close, he would like kind of skirt up the road a little bit more. I don't think he actually was ever going to get passed by Kimi. I think if that was the threat, he would have just like stepped on it a little bit more. Do you think that?
You think he was like playing with him?
Yeah. Did you think that there was a chance that Kimi was going to pass him?
Well, I mean, I think with Lando, yeah, I definitely think there was a chance he could have, you don't need luck when you have Lando. I thought he could have gone wide or done something silly. It could have happened. I don't think it was going to happen like on speed or pace alone. But
there's always a chance. You don't need luck when you have Lando. Maybe I'll do even better. You don't need luck when you have Oscar. Because what the fuck is his problem, okay? He did crash in the sprint. It was very strange. They were like, oh my God, he crashed. And then they were like, okay. And also, so did Nico and Franco. So what the fuck is happening here? They all crashed in like the same corner within like 30 seconds, like not even 30 seconds, like a second of each other because they were all like lined up in a straight line. Now, you might be thinking a crime has occurred here, surely. How could all of these cars crash in the same place at basically the same time? And there was one trusty detective on the case. Actually, two. This is a dynamic duo that I will always want when trying to solve a crime. We had Kimi Antonelli and George Russell, who were like, something has occurred here. And you get Kimi coming on the radio, and he goes, I know what happened. He's like, do you guys want to know what happened? Okay, I'll tell you, but just between us, okay? Don't broadcast this radio. But I saw Lando. He went off the racing line and brought water onto the track. And then in the cool down room, George goes, yeah, Lando is throwing little bananas behind him, trying to get us all to wipe out. Now, that's essentially what happened. It was kind of Oscar went on the curb, and there was like water that had just been brought up onto the curb / the racing line, made it slippery. When things are slippery, you slip, and he slipped into the wall. And then right behind him, so did Franco, so did Nico. Funny enough, almost Max Verstappen as well. He like almost ate shit in the same spot. How crazy would that have been if it was like Lando? I think we would have had to investigate him for crimes at that point. If both Max and Oscar crashed, I would have been like, okay, get him into a fucking interrogation room. Something happened here. But it's honestly like a little bit of luck, a little bit of Oscar probably could have just not cut the curb so much if it's slippery on the curb. I probably wouldn't do that. Yeah. But like, it feels a little bit like, I don't know. It was like kind of the first time you see him in the car. You could tell he's like, ooh, I'm really about to lose this championship, huh? Damn, that one hurted. Because like before the sprint race, he was 1 point behind. So like you still kind of have like a healthy dose of hopium. 1 point behind is nothing. But like you DNF a sprint race, okay, you're looking at now 9 points behind. It's not a lot, but it's enough for you to not feel so comfortable. What were your thoughts on this crash for Mr. Oscar Piastri?
It sucks to see these like little mistakes be so detrimental. And I think it's only fair that I give him shit because I give Lando shit for the exact same thing where I'm like, hey bud, we're fighting for a championship. These little mistakes. It's kind of giving maybe it was never a Lando issue. Maybe it was just always a McLaren issue. Somehow. Yeah. I don't know how that would work, but probably something to do with Zach Brown. Probably.
I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's fine.
But it does suck to see. It really does suck to see. And then, and I know we'll get to it, but then to see his feature race also kind of it was just like luck, I guess. But like luck created by the FIA.
Yeah, I think it's strange because I think that he held it together. I mean, he was the lead in the championship for so long that we were given the impression that he didn't feel any pressure. Mm-hmm. It is strange. I think that like he maybe is worse at handling pressure than we initially gave him credit for, because as soon as like we were really starting to get to the point where it was like, okay, Lando just DNF'd in Zandvoort. You have him firmly off your back. All you have to do is just finish. Once you just have to finish the championship came into view, all of a sudden he just started crumbling. And I think that it's like strange because that's how you would expect probably most people to react to this sort of pressure. It's just he didn't think Oscar Piastri was susceptible for it because he just like tricked us all into thinking that he was so unaffected in a way that Lando had like the year before. I mean, he was like fucking 40 points behind Max and he started like crashing out. We're like, okay, right. We were like stretching. We were stretching by considering this a championship battle. I don't really know why you're crashing out right now.
No, I mean, even the first half of the season, Lando was, I mean, I think like the Canada race, the collision in Canada was like a great example of the pressure getting to Lando. But it does feel a little different when it's like, you're crashing out because you're racing your teammate who you're fighting for a championship with versus like you're crashing out by this is actually like not the first time you've just kind of shunted into a wall during a really important race. I don't know what's going on with him, but I do need him to shape up just like a little bit.
I think we'll talk about it a little bit more in the feature race, but I don't think shaping up's going to help. I think the math is looking like Lando could get second place for the rest of the year to Oscar's wins, and he would still win the championship.
Yeah, but
I mean, there's plenty of room for error, and we can talk about plenty of room for error.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about it later, I guess.
No, go.
No, I was just going to say, like, with this team, truly, both of them, like, DNFing on a weekend isn't out of the realm of possibility. Like, Lando, like, starting P1 and then being like, oh, your power unit went kaput. Sorry, Queen. I don't know. Like, that's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to rule anybody out in the orange right now. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
George Russell is the only person we can rule out, which is devastating. Diva down.
I think he can still come back. The math's like, no, he can't. Like, well, maybe. So they obviously red flag it because there's now like 3 fucking cars in the wall. So they like red flag it to get everybody out of the wall. Good way to do that. What's confusing to me though is like really the track is fine. It's like this one random little anomaly on this one random corner. Yet they decide when they come back from the red flag, let's go ahead and do a rolling start. Now, a rolling start is like what you do when it is like pitching down fucking rain. Like the idea being like a standing start, we literally would not even be able to like just sit in the rain and go. We have to just like keep the cars moving. I don't know about you, but I didn't see a need for that at all. I didn't see a need for that one little bit.
Yeah, I also didn't see a need for that, but I do love a rolling start. So
I hate a rolling start. I think it's like a
biased.
freebie to whoever's. I think it's a freebie for like whoever's in the front, like the 1 and 2. I think it's a freebie because like
because they decide when you go,
figure things out and like figure out where they want to start and like the people are on a back foot because it's like they're not reacting until they're reacting to the person in front going. Whereas like a standing start, I mean, we love starts in F1. It's the only time we see overtakes. So I would like to see them.
True.
I would like to see them overtake. I don't know. I think this is where I was like, the FIA is just on something, bro. They're just on something. And then we kind of, whatever, we go as is in the sprint. Really, like, there's some midfield battles that are interesting, but not that interesting that I remember them. But what is memorable is at the end of the sprint, they're like, okay, so Kimi is like maybe going to catch Lando. Oh, just so you guys know, Gabby Bortoletto is okay. Okay, what is he okay from? Yeah, it turns out he almost died. Yeah, crazy. One of the craziest crashes. He was like on a straight and he like hit one wall. And then obviously because he's on a straight, there's like not runoff or anything. So he ping pongs off one wall into another and gets air and destroys his car. Apparently he broke like the steering, which is in between their legs. So people are like, hey, how'd they break that? Not break Gabby Bortoletto? That's a great question. He was fine. As we said, he comes over the radio and says, I'm okay. Apparently he was like running back to the paddock, like seemed fine, but like had like a 50-something G crash. I'm kind of glad that they didn't like show it live and that they didn't show a bunch of replays because like,
yeah,
the race was over. I didn't really care to see it at that point.
No. Yeah, that was scary. And just like, I was watching the Sky Sports broadcast and they were talking about him just before it being his home race and everything. And they were like, oh, looks like, because apparently he crashed like right outside of the commentary booth. He's like, looks like Gabby crashed. And I was like, okay, that's an insane commentary curse. Maybe you should cleanse yourself, but glad he's okay. And they were able to rebuild the car in 3 hours. Insanity.
No, he didn't make it out for qualifying though.
Well, but the car was in a piece, like it was still in one piece.
The car,
whether or not it works
together,
none of my business.
They made it resemble a car,
which it didn't after the crash.
Right, that's fair.
Sure,
that's fair. I'll give you that. It was strange because Gabby was not battling for points. It's important that I point that out. You might be thinking like this was like some crazy overtake he was going for like the last point at the sprint race. No, he was kind of like admitting like he was like, I'm just kind of doing it for the love of the game. Like I got all these fans here. I wanted to give them a show. And I was like, hey, let's not do that anymore. Okay? You're in a steaks hour. So maybe we should just behave. Thoughts? Can I also say something?
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck was Jacques Villeneuve in my commentary team this week for F1 TV?
Dude.
Did you have him for Sky Sports?
For you. No.
Why the fuck did they give him to us? I was like, he comes like once a year to F1 TV.
And it's always like the best
why?
race too. It's like, he's gotta be at fucking Interlagos.
The fuck is he doing? Like, usually they'll be like, oh, he's here for Canada. I'm like, okay, whatever. He's fucking Canadian, I guess. Fuck that guy. I guess he can be in his own fucking country, whatever. I'm surprised he's allowed in other countries. Okay, so I'm glad we talked about that. Moving on to qualifying. So we had qualifying. I'll spoil the end for you guys. Lando Norris gets pole. The only kind of like mix up that he had a bad first lap in Q3, and he kind of set himself up where like this was like, you got to put in a baller lap and you got one go at it. And then he did do it. And you know what? This is where I have to eat shit a little bit, okay? And this is where I have to come to you guys and be honest. I cannot fault Lando for basically anything in the last like 3 or 4 races. Because it's like, normally, if he had that kind of pressure in Q3, I think it would have been very characteristic of Lando to be like, fuck it. I can't do it in one more lap. Yeah, I'll just like eat shit on this lap too and get like P5. But he didn't. He delivered when he needed to. And I feel like it's very strange. Like, all of the things that he characteristically is bad at, I had to give him credit. He's been improving at it. Like, the qualifying speed at the beginning of the season was ass. And now it's like, he shows up, he cranks out a pole lap, and he's fine. Or, like, starts and restarts.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, I'd be like, you're pretty ass at that. But, like, he's not lately. He's fine. He really is. Like, I can't really fault him for much.
Yeah.
It's like, what a time for you to finally figure all this shit out. What a great time for you.
Yeah, no, congratulations.
Congratulations. My name's Lando, and I have curly hair and like a fucking girlfriend, and my dad's rich off of scooters, and I'm about to win the F1 World Championship. Fuck me. You know what I mean? It's like, look at this fucking guy. You know what I mean? I'm like trying to be nice to him, and I still am like, fuck this guy. What do you mean you got it all figured out now? Oh, right at the end. Oh, that's good. This fucking guy. What can I say?
Yeah, I don't know. Couldn't we have flipped the switch earlier? Like, what happened, dude? What happened over one of these? Is it because he finally sealed the deal with his girlfriend? Is that it? Because
he hard launched her when he was.
He hard launched his girlfriend, and suddenly he's good at sports. Okay.
Hey, that's crazy. There's like a thing in basketball that like fans talk about that's like, if there's like a really like attractive woman who's sitting courtside, there's like certain players that start like all of a sudden acting like they're fucking LeBron James. And like,
maybe that's what he's doing.
I mean, like, I feel like when I was like playing sports, keep in mind I was in like fucking high school. The nice thing about women's sports is that men don't come to it. So there was no way to test that theory.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, and that's a good point.
But yeah, men, for some reason, whenever they got like a fucking hot girl there to watch them, what's your excuse, Carlos? What's your excuse, Alex? What's your excuse? I mean,
well, okay, let's caveat it with the fact that Lando now has the hot girlfriend. He's still driving the fastest car on the grid.
That's true. And also,
he's just finally acting like it.
It's a new girlfriend. Things change, buddy. Yeah, next year when she's just your girlfriend of like 6 months, let's see if you're turning it on the same way. You know what I mean? Now, there were some interesting things happening in quali. Okay, it wasn't just like textbook normal. Okay, Lando Norris gets pulled because obviously the McLaren's the fastest car on the grid. Duh, whatever. We had Ollie Behrman kind of cooking a lot. Like, if he would have done his time from Q2 in Q3, he would have probably been third on the grid. Casual. I think in Q3, they were like, hey, Ollie, you're being really fucking fast out there. like, I don't mean to freak you out, but you might get second row on the grid. And he did freak out a little bit. And he started like over driving the car. And I think he ended up like 6th or like 8th or something.
Like yeah.
And surprisingly for a Haas, that was probably a disappointment. What do you think about Ollie's qualifying?
I thought, I was so excited when I saw him up at the top. I was like, provisional pole? That's world champion to me, specifically.
World champion. Provisional pole.
My world champion. That's my American hero, Ollie Behrman.
Right.
I don't know. He just had such a good weekend this weekend, but then like comparing it to last weekend, which was like also an abnormally really, really good weekend for him. I bet he is disappointed this weekend, but it's Haas season. And next we go to Haas Vegas. Guys, just keep your eye on this space.
Dream about it. Can I be honest? I think the same thing is happening here as with Lando, because Ollie just became public with his relationship with Percy the pig.
Oh, yes. You're right.
Do you think that something could be happening there?
Huh. He's racing for the girl back home.
And I fucking get it. Those little pigs are delicious.
They are good.
Yeah. I don't know. Makes you think. Also, do you think that maybe it's not abnormal? Do you think that this is just Ollie Behrman now? Do you think that he's like the car / him are just like that good now? Like he's finally put it all together. He's at the end of his rookie season. Do you think that there's a chance that that's what's happening?
I truly think that the upgrades that Haas brought a while back ago have just been phenomenal for Ollie. Mm-hmm. So I think this could be the new normal for him. Unfortunately, it's not really the same for SD because he's just been having a hell of a time with these upgrades, and also Lance Stroll for some reason. But no, I think this is the new normal for Ollie. And once again, keep your eye on this space.
Yeah, I think Esteban, it's interesting because he's kind of getting his ass whooped right now by his rookie teammate. But like, I feel like when you dig
everyone
into
in general.
Right. But when you like dig into it, like beyond just the result, like some of it, I'm like, okay, that's not on him. Like, did you see the onboard from him during like, I think sprint qualifying? He like went out for his like lap in like SQ1. When I tell you, he ran into every single car that was on track during this lap. Like literally, it looked like he was just driving on the freeway. Like there were so many fucking cars on track. And he's just like, what the fuck am I to do? Like, who are all these randos? Do you guys all drive an F1? Like, why are you guys all out here? Who the fuck are you people? You would have thought he was out there during like the driver's parade or something. There was just like random ass fucking cars out there or something. But I was just like, that's not like great for him, because when you look at it on paper, you're just seeing like Ollie Behrman whooping ass and Esteban Ocon out in Q1. I do think that he's not vibing with the upgrades the same way Ollie is. No. I also think he has like some of the world's worst luck. I think he is probably one of the most unluckiest ducks of all time.
So true. No, I agree. Yeah, I think he can do it. Yeah. I think he has the potential. There's something in there. There's a spark in that boy. We just have to dig it out with maybe some new upgrades next year.
Maybe. Or I'll do even better. They figure it out in this little off week. They go to Las Vegas, and we get a lovely, lovely, lovely time with a double podium, Ollie and SD, and they both get to ride in that little, what's that fancy ass car?
No, the limousine?
It's not a limo. It's something more than that. It's the one that Trisha Paytas has that's pink.
A Rolls Royce? I thought it was a limo. It's a Rolls Royce?
Yeah, it's a Rolls Royce.
Oh, because it has like the stars on the top of the ceiling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they last year they had 2 of them because Max won the championship, so Max and GP got one. But then they always make the whole podium cram in the backseat of one, and that's how I know it's not a limo. It's because it's like it's way too small for all these people.
No, you're right.
But like,
and then they drive into like the Bellagio.
Honestly, that's the best case scenario because SD and Ollie, they're both like little string beans. You know what I mean? Like they are both middle seat builds. So, like, that's perfect.
But I know for a fact neither of them would sit in the middle seat, and it would be like ideal podium of string beans. Is this mean to say? I don't know. George
I
Russell,
don't think so.
and then the two Haas boys, all three in the back of the Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
The dream.
I mean, also, like, if there's anybody to win in Las Vegas, you guys just don't understand the joy that George Russell gets out of winning in Las Vegas. Because last year, that man was like jumping off the fucking walls. He didn't even care that Max just won a championship. He was like, I'm having the best night of my life. I'm about to gamble all my money away and drink lots of champagne. They're like, that's exciting. Keep it up. Keep it up, George. That's great. Also, do you remember Terry Crews was there for some reason?
Yeah, I do. He's there a lot. He's been to a lot of. He's obsessed with Max Verstappen.
He's obsessed with Max Verstappen. I feel like last year was the first year, or like last year at Vegas was the first time I was like, oh, he's going to keep coming to these F1 things, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, he was like doing the after race interviews and had no idea what the fuck just happened.
He was so excited to meet Max though, and he was undoubtedly a big fan of Max, but I just don't know if he watches Formula One.
No, he literally was like, so who are you? And George Russell was like, I'm George Russell. I won the race. And he was like, oh, that's interesting. Tell me about that.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's interesting. And I also love how Max, he can tell Terry Crews loves him. He just, for the life of him, has no idea who Terry Crews is. So he's like, why is this guy here who clearly knows nothing about F1? Why is he talking to me? Why are we here at the Bellagio fountain? What's going on? I love Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. What a great place. Okay. Gotta find our way back there like next year, MJ. We gotta.
I know. We'll be there. We'll be there when they do their. I've been a side tangent. They released the Hello Kitty merch. This is like our third week in a row bringing up the Hello Kitty merch. It is so freaking cute. And they have some online, but it's none of the cute stuff. And it's like $200 for the hoodie.
Oh my God, I haven't even looked. It's $200.
Don't look. It'll make you sad.
I was actually going to buy it.
I know, I was too. But like the cute stuff isn't online. Like we would have to force a friend to purchase it. But what I was going to say is next year, hopefully they do something cool again, because we've done Snoopy, we've done Lego, we've done Hello Kitty. So maybe next year it'll be like Blue's Clues or something, and we'll be there for that.
Do you think that maybe they can just, oh my God, you know what it's going to be? I just felt like something fucking come to me like a vision. It's either going to be Muppets or Winnie the Pooh. These are the two things that are kind of speaking to me.
I would
like
die
Winnie the
if
Pooh,
it was Winnie the Pooh.
I think that's like open IP. Like I think like people can use Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, because they make all the scary Winnie the Pooh scary movies now.
I think that's what it's going to be, guys. What do you guys think it's going to be? Which nostalgic childhood character would you guys like to have one to collaborate with next? Leave it in the comments below. One more note on qualifying, probably one of the most important notes. For some reason, Max Verstappen is out for the first time in his F1 career on pure pace in Q1. Now, the rumor is what had happened was they did the sprint race, and they were like, that was shit garbage. And then they made changes after the sprint race, as you're allowed to do. And they kind of went with a setup that was allegedly suggested by Yuki. I was like, Yuki, never suggest anything. You're on really, really, really thin ice right now. And an IndyCar expert said you're going to have to go to IndyCar if you keep this shit up. So, like, just stop suggesting shit. The thing that he suggested they ended up doing for qualifying, it ended up being one of the worst setups they could have possibly given Max Verstappen and also Yuki Tsunoda. They were both out in Q1. And Max was like, so we're not fucking doing that again. Please fix this. So they ripped his car apart and completely changed everything after qualifying, which meant he had to start in the pit lane. But I'm fairly surprised because it's like the Red Bull has been like pretty fast the last couple weekends. So I'm like, what is so different about Brazil that we had to make all these changes? Like, why is it like we're acting like we've never driven this car before? Like, I'm like, why did we change everything? We were just getting good. What's happening? This is me not knowing engineering.
No, yeah, I have no idea. Couldn't tell you. I'm sure there's like a logical reason, but part of me is like, there's something in the air in Brazil because we had just some of the craziest qualifying, the most exciting racing I have seen in decades. Well, since last year at Brazil.
Since last year, right.
I don't know. So there's just the vibe there. That's what happened to Max's car. It was the vibe.
I don't know, bro, but I was like, once they said that Yuki suggested, I heard this on F1 TV from James Hinchcliffe's mouth. So I was like, this seems like what happened. And I was like, Yuki, shut the fuck up. Don't suggest anything ever again, please.
It's not worth it. It's just truly not worth it. It could have, even if it was a good idea, it's still not worth it.
It's still not worth it because for the first time ever, Max Verstappen is out in Q1. On pace, just like he drove the car and it didn't go fast. I was like, that's pretty bad, Yuki. I don't really know what you suggested. Did you suggest like, hey, what if we drove the F1 cars without the engine and we just foot pedaled around the track? Like, that's how I feel like that's how slow they were going. And I was like, is that what happened?
They said, yeah, let's get rid of the car and let's get rid of the floor and just Fred Flintstone this.
That's his next suggestion. Yuki's going to be like, what if we get rid of the car? and me, frankly. What if I go as well? And they're like, no, we were already going to do that. But if you suggested it.
Yeah, get ready to learn ovals in a Dale coin.
Get ready to learn ovals. You better be ready for bump day, bro. You better be plugged in.
Dude, could you imagine if Yuki Tsunoda, if this IndyCar expert was onto something, Yuki Tsunoda goes to Dale Coyne and then we're watching Bump Day between Yuki Tsunoda and Dennis Hauger?
Fucking take me out back. And
Robert Schwartzman is still on pole somehow.
Somehow. God, what are they going to put in those promos next year?
God. Money, hopefully.
Maybe. A sponsorship if we're lucky. Okay. So let's talk about the race. So the race starts out right away with a crash. Good, right? I believe the first crash was from Gabby Bortoleto, and he was trying to go around the outside of Lance Stroll. He didn't really need to do that, and I think this was, again, a chronic case of just wanting to show off. And he then was like, why didn't Lance Stroll leave me space? And I was like, well, first of all, it's Lance Stroll. He doesn't really do that. Second of all, he didn't actually have to. This was entirely you. I felt so bad, though, because I feel like it was like, I just don't think he was there in the right state of mind to perform at his home race. I think the pressure was too much, and he just was doing too much.
It was... It was sad to watch. And it was also like in one of the places where there's like, you're right next to the barrier. Like there's no like runoff. It was just, it happened at the worst spot. It didn't need to happen. Lance Stroll was at the scene of the crime. The whole thing felt very rancid.
I think it gives kind of like when you have a friend and she's like, I'm not really interested in impressing this guy. But like you can tell that she very much is interested in impressing him, and like you guys are going to a party or something he might be at, and you're like, hey girl, you don't need to wear that outfit. You know what I mean? It's like, let's just wear normal clothes. You don't need to wear a floor-length gown to the party, really. You know what I mean? It's like, I appreciate what you're trying to do here, but like, unfortunately, it is just, it's not. It's just a regular party. You don't really have to do all this.
We respect the effort. Unfortunately, it's going to make everything more difficult. Like, it's going to be harder to pee. People are going to be stepping on it. Like, we see you. You look glamorous. We're happy that you
really beautiful
showed out. But in the end, the risk is not worth the reward.
No. We could have just, like, jeans and a cute top and probably been
fine. He didn't notice you anyways. It didn't matter.
Honestly, Gabrielle Bortoleto, look at me. Next time, let's just go with the jeans and the cute top, okay? Jeans and a cute top. It's never done anybody wrong. You don't have to do too much, really. Okay. Dude, this is Delilah. I'm giving fucking dating advice now. This is Delilah.
This is Delilah.
She has a little song. Okay. Anywho, so when this happens, Max is coming out of the pit lane and he has a puncture. So he has to go through and get a new tire. And I was like, dude, we're already fucked, aren't we? We're already fucked, okay? The whole dream is dead. However, he was on hards. They take the hard tires off. They put him on the mediums. Turns out, mediums, by far the best tire to be on. And because he's already done his required stint on another set of tires, motherfucker just does mediums again. Later on, he puts on mediums again. Everyone else has to go on either the hard or the soft, which everybody's like, they both suck. I wish I could just do mediums again. And Max is like, I'm doing mediums again. And everybody's like, fuck. And so he is cruising. He's doing overtakes. They kept like giving like little fucking every 10 minutes, like a little update. They're like, just so you guys know, I don't mean to alarm you. Max Verstappen is in 8th place. And I was like, I'm alarmed. How did he get up there? What? But he keeps us going. He's on like his second set of mediums. And they, as like the commentators do, they're like, well, what can he do from here? They're like, he could just do this till the end. Like these mediums do last that long for how many laps we have left. There's a risk that they might fall off and like a massive drop in time. And then he would have people behind him on better tires that he would have to defend against. But in theory, he could just do this till the end, keep his track position, defend by people behind him, specifically like Lando and Kimi, and win the race from pit lane. I guess what happened is that on the Red Bull strategy wall, they were like, we could do that and risk having to defend against better tires, or we could just pit him again, put him on softs, and be confident that he'll get a podium. At first, I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. But thinking back on it after I saw the maths, he has to win the championship. Unless he's banking on like a crazy McLaren wipeout, which I guess is fair. But like knowing Max, if I'm Max and I have Lando behind me, Lando's not going to do anything crazy to pass him because he knows Max will end his life and his championship hopes. I feel like Max should have just stayed out and just done like the defense.
Yeah.
That's just my.
I think it would have worked out.
Yeah, I mean, like, still, I mean, he went from pit lane to third. You know what I mean? So it's like maybe like Red Bull was like, we've been lucky enough today. You know what I mean? We've been lucky
they're
enough.
Like, let's not test it. They're still a little traumatized by what happened in qualifying. You know, like, you know what?
Let's stop.
We'll stick with this.
We're ahead. Yeah. I'm sorry if you can hear that cat, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just like being greedy. But I'm like, it could have been fun to see. I don't know. Anywho, so that was Max's situation. He ended in third. Whatever. So on to the Oscar Piastri of it all. We have virtual safety cars. We do a restart. On the restart, Kimi is having a bad restart. He's like going slow. So on the outside, Charles is on his outside and Oscar's on his inside. Frankly, just because they were like, I'm going. He's slow as shit. We're just going to like sandwich him, but I'm going. In this, Kimi kind of chops in front of Oscar, and Oscar can sense that Kimi's about to chop in front of him, so he brakes and locks up, and he kind of bumps into Kimi, not very hard because like neither of them really had damage, but Kimi bumps into Charles. Of course, Charles DNFs. He can't handle the ricochet off of a ricochet for some reason, but like his entire car is like fucked. His like tires off, everything's gone to shit for Charles. So this is tough for me because it's like there was plenty of room for Kimi to not chop in front of Oscar. And the way the rules are written in the book, Oscar got a penalty because he locked up and was not to the apex first. But both of those things were because he braked to avoid Kimi.
Right.
He would have, the way the rule is written, been better off slamming as hard as possible into Kimi, but getting to the apex first. And I think that that's what's so frustrating about it and why the FIA rules are so stupid. And sometimes I'm like, no, that's the rules, is what it is. Because I know for a fact if it was Max Verstappen in that situation, he would have slammed the fuck into Kimi and probably taken out, like Lando probably would have gotten taken out. And Kimi and everybody would have been damaged and everything would have been to shit, but you would have been like, Max would have been like, yeah, at least I took out Lando. That's good. Done and done. This is great. But because Oscar is like, he's still in the back of his mind, has like that, oh my God, I cannot DNF. He hits the brakes and ends up, like one of the commentators says, making himself look guilty despite doing what was probably everything in his power.
I just, like, in these situations, I don't know why we can't analyze the, like, entirety of the situation. It's just, like, a frame of the situation, which was when he decided to brake and make himself look guilty. Like, the FIA is not taking into consideration, like, the scenario that, like, made him make that decision. So I don't understand why this couldn't have been, like, a racing incident. Like, the fact that Oscar got a penalty out of it seems egregious to me when it's like nobody else thinks he should have gotten the penalty. Kimi kind of like scampered around it and he was like, lots of crazy things happening out there. It's hard to know who's in or who's at fault for it. I don't know.
It's tough too because like Oscar specifically kind of has to react to that, to Kimi of all people, because Kimi is not where he's normal. Like he's out of his normal qualifying place. And when you have like a rookie in this situation, it's like you never know how they're gonna react. And so Oscar's like, oh, Kimi's just gonna fucking plow into me, isn't he? Whereas like if it was somebody like a Max or honestly like a Charles said after, he's like, yeah, there was plenty of space. Like Kimi didn't have to chop in front of Oscar at all. So when you have somebody around you that's like more used to being at the front of the pack, there's like more like etiquette that like Kimi is too young.
He doesn't know it yet. He hasn't learned it yet. But
like earlier this year when he took out Max too, he like DNF'd and Max was like, yeah, so Kimi just ran into me. Because he's a rookie and that's what they do. And that's my fault for being here a rookie.
Dude, I shouldn't do that again. Kimi's track record this year with like taking out, like he took out Charles at Zandvoort, wasn't it? Because Lewis took himself out and then he took out Charles at Zandvoort just by like being a little too spunky on the banking.
Yeah. Like, he just like gets
can we take that into consideration when we're sentencing Oscar? Like, let's be so fucking for real. Like, if we're gonna be a little biased, can we at least bring all the biases in?
It's like Oscar is like getting arrested for beating up a toddler, and he's like, but to be fair, the toddler had a gun.
The toddler had a gun and a criminal history. Like, what did you want me to do?
Like, I'm sorry I swung first. I was scared because the toddler
and he still ended up shooting somebody. He shot Charles. And we're still like, Oscar, that was fucked up that you did that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. But what's so crazy too is like, it's a 10-second penalty. I mean, you can't fucking argue with that. You know what I mean? I was like, Oscar, I don't know, buddy. I think you're done for the day. I think we should log off. Oh, God. But it sucks because, I mean, it's not like Oscar was having a great fucking day anyways. You know what I mean? It's like, he's fucking slow as shit. Whatever. That's fine. Yeah, whatever. Give him a 10-second penalty.
Might as well.
That's fine. And then what also sucked, I think he was also kind of fucked over because then McLaren was like, well, what do we do for the strategy? And they're like, well, we'll just have him do a 2-stopper. And Oscar's like, so I don't know if you guys notice, I am going really fucking slow. And they're like, fuck, we didn't notice that. Okay, you have to come in again. I think like had they been able to just like affirm sooner that he was going to have to come in again, he would have been better off. But instead they made him suffer on like shitty tires for too long. And then it was like the damage is done. You're done. So yeah. there's that. That's Oscar's race. Woo. Charles DNF'd, whatever. Speaking of Ferrari DNF'd, Hamilton got damage. He ran into the back of Franco. He then is like, is there damage to the floor? And they're like, no, your floor's fine. And he's like, that's weird because I cannot drive this car. And they make him suffer. And then finally they let him come in and retire. All of it was kind of self-inflicted damage by Lewis. It definitely did not look good. It looked a little bit like, okay, what are we doing out there? A little amateurish for Lewis Hamilton, in my opinion.
Can I say something crazy?
Mm-hmm.
I think Lewis Hamilton is starting to reach the level of pathetic where I am starting to feel for him.
Yeah.
He's hitting the William Byron, the Chase Elliott, whoever else I've said is pathetic before. His post-race interview on Sky Sports, it was really sad. And I was like, is he going to retire? Could he retire? He pulls a Denny Hamlin and just is like, I know I have a contract for next year, but I'm not committing to ever racing a car ever again.
The fun's not in it, you know what I mean? It's like, no, I get it. You're driving a Ferrari. That's fair. I will say something too about Lewis that's very strange. He puts like so much pressure on himself for this like honorary Brazilian citizenship where he is also like treating this like, I let my hometown down. And I was like, you don't live here. It's important to me that you know that. Like, I love the energy and I love that Brazilians love you. And I love that everybody loves each other. Why are you like almost in tears being like, I let all the Brazilian fans down? You don't live here. It's okay. They're not going to find you and like beat you up or anything. Like, it's okay.
No, they're just excited you were here. Once again, like, if you showed up in jeans and a cute top, you would have been totally fine. Like, don't stress about it.
Instead, Lewis kind of showed up in sweatpants. And we were like, well, we said it was casual. That was a bit too casual. I would have gone with jeans and a cute top. Fuck. It's too much. We just got to bring back jeans and a cute top, guys. It's really not that deep. And last little point on F1 that I had for today, and we can discuss as you would like afterwards. Why is Pierre good now? What happened there?
No. And I just said this earlier. Like, this is recency bias. I just said earlier, look at any other weekend for mostly forever. It's not true. I think what happened is they signed Franco and he's like, sick. That counts as job security for me.
Yeah. I think he also like...
He's just good at this track too.
He's really good at Brazil. I think that the magic of like the Esteban Pierre podium that we got last year, he was like still plugged into that. I think he misses Esteban and he wanted to impress him. He wore the jeans and the cute top, but it was like a good fitting pair of jeans and a really cute top. And he was like, I really hope Esteban notices. That's what's happening here. He put on his best pair of jeans. They're from Madewell. You know, they're not skinny, so they're like not too like out of trend, but they're like not like barrel jeans either. Like nothing too crazy and trendy. Just like
they
solid
flatter
pair.
him.
Right.
Yeah. He feels confident in them too, which is the most important part.
Yeah. And like, fuck it. He got one of those little Urban Outfitter corset tops and he's out having a good time.
Yeah. Wait, I'm so happy for him. Yeah. No, that's exactly what's happening. You're right. So that's why he was good this weekend. The other ones he didn't care. That Esteban.
Yeah.
He was wearing his sweatpants or his ball gowns and it was just not working out for him.
I think he's like embraced the Alpine suffer. It was so funny. He did the post-race show and they were like, did you have fun out there? It looked like it was like fun. Like you were like doing all these overtakes and stuff. He's like, yeah, no, that's... I mean, considering we've been ass all year, that's been, it's more fun than being ass. And I was like, oh my God, he's really beat up about this. Buddy, just enjoy the moment.
At a certain point, like, your car is never expected to do well. Like, just cash the check. It's fine. Don't crash because it'll hurt. Cash the check. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Everybody, make sure you guys out there before we move on to IndyCar. Find your jeans and a cute top and just live life with that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Jeans and a cute top. Okay. Do you want to talk about IndyCar or do you have anything else for F1?
I think that's all I have for F1.
Okay. Well, while we're speaking of Brazil, we have a Brazilian driver in IndyCar. Kyle Collette signed officially to the AJ Foyt number 4. Now, can I say, I don't really know how this would have worked out, but I was like, could somebody have gotten him on a plane to Brazil and just let him like clout chase a little bit in the paddock? Like, obviously F1 would have not liked that, but like it would have been fun for us. Like somebody needs to like hook him up with like just like AJ Foyt, dip into the marketing budget, grab a couple thousand for a paddock pass. And James would have done it up. James would have been like, ooh, like I'm on F1 TV. Let me like say hi to Cal Colette. Ooh, look how excited the Brazilian fans are for Gabby Bortoletto. And who's that? AJ Foyt, number 4 driver? We should have clout chased in the paddock, right?
I think that's I didn't even think about that. That's a really good idea, a missed opportunity. Plus, I think a lot of F1 fans, because he was in the Formula pipeline for a hot second.
He could have been like, walking around in his little AJ Foyt shit. He could have been like, ooh, yeah, I'm just here to like say hi to family and stuff. Or like, I have some friends here. But it's like, really, he's just there to get photographed, baby.
He's like, I didn't even know you guys were going to be here. I just, like, I'm from here. I didn't know you guys. There's an F1 race this weekend? Whoa, I raced too. What? That's crazy. I actually just got a promotion.
Yeah, no, this week.
Wow.
That's weird. Yeah, no, that's showbiz, baby. I should have gotten him paparazzi'd in the paddock.
Like what they did with, like, Mick Schumacher type level. Or like Logan Sargent, where suddenly AJ Foyt has a social media manager, but only when it's F1 related.
We should have cashed in.
Literally.
Oh, well. Speaking of cashing in, this is kind of the only other thing I have for IndyCar. It was like kind of confirmed. No, that's not true. Strongly rumored that Connor Zillage is in fact interested in doing the double. And Trackhouse specifically is like, let's try to make this double happen. However, not next year, because Trackhouse is like, well, he is a rookie. So like, maybe we can chill a little bit.
He's just a baby.
Yeah, he is just a baby. But I was kind of like, I don't know. I mean, like, I do love about Trackhouse. Trackhouse seems like of all the NASCAR teams, the one most willing to be like, yeah, we should probably put this kid in any car that he can race, right? Because like he was supposed to, allegedly, supposed to be able to do some sort of WEC test in Bahrain, but he didn't have the super license points for it. I was like, this motherfucker is really going to get in any car that he can. I think that's good. In NASCAR, I feel like often that's kind of like frowned upon. Like NASCAR kind of, you can see by the way they made the Kyle Larson rule this year. They're not too interested in like people doing cross series promotion, because most of the time it's doing more promotion for the other series than it probably is for NASCAR. But I'm like, yeah, let's fucking put Connor Zillage in any car that'll run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he'd be good at it too. I think it's good that they're giving him, like, I know they're saying it's because he's a rookie this year and that'd be a lot to put on him. I think this is a good breather year from having to talk about Kyle Larson. Maybe if we just like skip a year, no one will be like, who was the last person to do the double? And we could be like, if double DNF was Kyle Larson.
Right. I'm still pissed at how many things I've had to see this week of him being like, ooh, Kyle Larson's so good at everything. And they include IndyCar on that list. Like, I'm just like,
bro, whatever. IMS posted something about it and I was like, 13th reason right there.
Can you log off from me, IMS, please?
Everyone is asking you to delete this. Everyone.
Everybody's asking you to delete this. Did you have anything else for IndyCar? I can't really think of anything else.
No.
They did some testing in Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Scott Dixon was there.
Yeah.
I don't know either, but he posted to his Instagram story and he never does that. So it makes me feel like it was going well.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, okay. IndyCar expert MJ says the Phoenix test went great. And Scott Dixon is really confident in his chances to win the race this year at Phoenix. And there's nothing to worry about. And everything's going to be super fun and super great. And everybody who loves NASCAR is going to love IndyCar after watching the race because it's going to go wonderfully, and then Scott Dixon's going to win. IndyCar experts.
Amen. Did you see that? I think it was IndyCar who finally acknowledged that it was a doubleheader weekend. Phoenix was just like in the past couple of days, finally acknowledged it, and only one of the series did it.
That's interesting. I also saw that they sent Nolan Siegel to the Phoenix race for NASCAR.
Yeah, and then we didn't see jack shit about it. Well,
yeah, I was like, was that like
he flew himself,
IndyCar?
and he flew himself, and then when they saw him there, they were like, "Let's capitalize, boys."
Yes, he's doing a meet and greet. You bitch. Yeah, I don't know. That was weird. Yeah, they didn't mention at all, really, that he did that whole meet and greet. That's fine. Whatever. We don't actually need promotion for our series. Best keep it niche and underground and make sure nobody knows about it, right? Okay. Do we want to talk about NASCAR?
Yeah, let's talk about NASCAR.
Okay, NASCAR. They had the awards ceremony. Officially, Chase Elliott, the fan favorite of 2025.
I want to recount.
Don't shut the fuck up. You stuffed the ballot box, girl. I know you did.
No, dude. I would never cheer for someone who I thought had potential to win.
What did you think about his message to his fans? Did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it.
Neither did I. I hope it was good. Hope he said something nice. He did kind of film it from like
it was like a weird.
It looked like he was on the
Snapchat
toilet.
Angle. Yes. Okay. Yes. No, we're on the same page there.
It looked like he was on the toilet, and I was like, Chase, honey, you can pick the phone up a little bit. You know what I mean? Hit him with a little bit of this, Chase. And I won't think you're on the toilet. Makes you think. I don't know. Good for him. Good for him. Whatever. I honestly didn't think he had it. I didn't think he had.
I didn't either. I thought Denny was for sure going to take it.
But there was really no movement because we also had Raja for the Truck Series fan favorite, which I think he's won in the past. And then we had Justin Allgaier for the fucking Xfinity. I was like, what do you mean?
I love Justin Allgaier, but who was voting for him?
No, I literally was like, Justin Allgaier had like the most like random season. Like he was fine, I guess, but like it's not like I was ever even thinking about Justin Allgaier.
No, he performed well, but like it was totally
anonymous,
like unnoteworthy. It was like he performed well because that's a 40-year-old man in the Xfinity series. Like sometimes they're going to perform well. He's had practice, and I truly love him to death. But the fact that he won fan favorite, I was like,
by what? By doing what? Do we value nothing anymore? Because I see people putting in effort to get fan favorite. And this is, honestly, I was going to propose this to you. I think last week was our last fan favorite for this year, right? Unless you had one for today.
No, I don't.
Okay. I think that the bit, we've done it for a full year. I'm a little uncertain if we carry it into next season. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't, you know what I mean? It's like, we've picked our fight with the fan favorite. I think I'm ready to let it rest because it seems like I really thought that the fan favorite tides were changing. They're not. I think that we've done our part. We've made our voice heard, and maybe we just
Here's
move on.
my thing. The reason I think we should keep the fan favorite or something like it, do you know how many people are randomly Ryan Priest fans now because of this podcast?
I know.
That wouldn't have happened if it weren't for fan favorite. You know? So if we do it for us and for the benefit of maybe one day getting a different most popular driver, we should do it for the benefit of like those in need of publicity, aka Ryan Priest.
Okay,
and
I
Ty Gibbs.
Propose to you. If we do fan favorite for NASCAR next season, I think on race weekends we have to do it for IndyCar and F1 too.
Maybe I'd be down because there's so many times where you and I send us something and go, if we had fan favorite for F1, it would be George Russell, like every weekend.
Right. Maybe we expand the fight, and next year, hopefully, we have a bunch of George Russell fans running around. And who knows, the IndyCar title could really be up for grabs. I could see the IndyCar title being really close and down to the wire. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like every week it's really hit or miss who's our fan favorite in IndyCar.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea.
We'll expand the fight. We're not done yet. NASCAR, next year, Chase Elliott, be afraid. Be afraid. Your title's up for grabs next year. Okay? Okay. And speaking of fan favorite, if we were doing it this week, I could tell you who mine was going to be. They announced finally for Trackhouse that they are changing the numbers, which I think we kind of thought because they didn't really announce anything with Connor. I didn't really know what their plan was. I think that they were kind of in a hard place because it was like Connor had really become the 88 and embodied it so much through his time at Junior Motorsports, like doing it in Xfinity. Dale Jr., of all people, was like, he's the 88. Like, he's become that number. He's become that number. He turned into an 88. We hate to see it happen when they're so young, but I was nervous what they were going to do for SVG, and it ended up being the best outcome, but also made me cry real tears at my desk.
I did cry real tears at my desk.
Hey guys, raise your hand in the comments if you guys cried real tears at your desk watching the video they dropped like mid workday by Trackhouse. So they have Ross Chastain read a message from Justin Marks, the owner of Trackhouse, talking about he's like the first to do all these things at Trackhouse, which is why he's perfect for the number one. And then they have Dale Jr. read a little note to Connor Zilic being like, you are the 88. Here's all these special people that were the 88, and here's why you're special and you're the 88. And I'm like, oh, I'm tearing up, right? And then, they come in with like the hardest fatality hit, honestly, for my emotions by SVG, where it's a letter from his dad, and it's read by his dad in the video, talking about how special the number 97 is to his racing career and his family. And of course, his dad mentions his mom, and then SVG starts crying. But it was really interesting because it's like, I love SVG. It's really interesting. Like, I think that this is like the perfect content for like really getting to like know drivers. It's like, I had no idea how special that number was to him. It's like when people have numbers, they sometimes, keep it just throughout their career for like brand consistency and stuff. But like hearing that like video, I was like, oh, he's the 97. Like, I'm so happy that they let him have that number. I don't know. I was like kind of crying. And I was also like,
no,
that's special. In NASCAR, people don't get to do that very often. Like, get to just have a number that's like their number. Usually it's like you have to conform to, he would have been like conformed to the 99. You know what I mean?
Right. Which is what I thought was going to happen. But the video was very meaningful. I like the idea of it. I would have never thought of something like that. Oh my God, though. I did cry. I was really sad about him leaving the 88 because all I've ever known him as is the 88. Yeah. And I was like, no, you can't take the 88 away from him. But then when they were like, no, actually the 97 is really special to him, I was like, why was he ever in the fucking 88?
Yeah. I think like honestly, it was like so good too because it immediately shuts people up if they were going to complain. Because like, I think that there were people that would have complained and they were like,
me.
Hey, so he fucking likes it. So shut the fuck up, okay? Shane said he likes it. It's not your choice. I don't care that you just bought a bunch of merch that said 88 on it. That was your fault.
You're a fool for not thinking about honestly, the fact that Connor Zilic is coming in.
Now our Shane Van Gisbergen shirts. Rare. By looking at the shirt, we've been a fan of him since his rookie year in Cup.
That's a good point.
So when the bandwagon starts taking off, once he finally learns how to do ovals, we were there before that. Sorry. That's my rookie of the year. Do you have anything else for NASCAR?
I don't think so.
She doesn't think so. I guess we kind of already mentioned the Connor Zilic thing, but I was like, that's fucking stupid. Everybody was mad about that for like a full day after the championship, that Connor Zilic doesn't get to do the WEC test.
Oh,
because of super license, because he didn't win the Xfinity championship.
If this makes anyone feel better, and I'm sure people have seen it because I think I reposted on the Lapsdown account at the NASCAR awards ceremony after just like the saddest finish to the Xfinity series, crying, leaning against the car, like holding himself up, just like being very sad. He was on stage, had the microphone singing Sweet Caroline. So actually the kid is all right. With Jesse. Jesse did not know the words. He only knew the ba ba ba.
Which is strange because I was like, first day on Earth? Never been here before or something?
Well, but you have to remember, he is just a 14-year-old boy that they picked up off the street. So it's like,
no, that's fair.
He doesn't even have an iPod Touch yet, you know?
And then they shot pyrotechnics at these two 14-year-old boys, which I was like, that
was crazy. But they played it off really well, because I would have like dropped into the fetal position, but like, actually, there's something bad happening right now.
Yeah, just a point of information. If you ever invite the Laps Down girls to something, no pyrotechnics, please. MJ will not like that. She startles easily. She will run.
No loud noises. Don't ever come up on like the peripherals. Like, treat me like a very scared feral cat.
I'll do you one better. You're like a wild horse. Don't approach.
No, truly.
She'll kick. She'll kick.
Yeah, I will.
So don't come up from behind. She'll kick. Okay. I have one last little thing. I don't really know what details I have to add to this, to be honest, by way of I'm not very smart, but Formula E released their Gen 4 car.
Gen 4.
Which is the one that they're going to be racing with this coming season, correct? Yeah, okay. It's really interesting. A couple things. It looks very different. Very, very, very distinct aerodynamic look to it. If this means anything to anybody, the Gen 4 delivers a dramatic boost in performance and technology with 450 kilowatt peak race power, 600 kilowatt attack mode for powerful overtakes, and enhanced 700 kilowatt regenerative braking. I don't know what that means, but I hope they have fun with it. The construction of the Gen 4 features 100% recyclable materials, and I thought that was pretty cool. Something I thought was interesting. People kind of fucked with this new car. Like people that have never talked about Formula E before. They were like, "That's kind of a sick looking race car." I'm not gonna lie.
It does, like the one that I saw them test driving was like all black, like carbon fiber, no livery on it. And she's thick. Like she's thick, voluptuous. Mm-hmm. She's not a skinny little girl. Like she's got definitely a body on her. But it kind of, in my personal opinion, it gives like Batmobile vibes. Mm-hmm. So I love Formula E can do little wrong for me with their cars because they're just so funny and they're so triangular and there's just something about that. But it looked fast. All the drivers said that they were having fun with it. I'm excited, and we should do like a Formula E, I guess it would be over the off season, do like a little preface to the new season, because there's a lot of changes happening. Yeah, I was just about to say, with the way they conduct like even qualifying. I think the pit boost is going to have more in play this season. We've had a lot of driver shakeups, but I'm very excited for next season for Formula E.
I have a question. So they decided that they're going to do like pit stops ish kind of. And they plug the car in, right, when they're in their pit stop. Are they kind of like doing like a virtual energy sort of vibe? Or are they actually like putting more power in their car and it could die? Question mark? Or is it like IMSA where it's like fake?
I guess I don't know.
I wish I knew.
Okay, they don't play it off as if it's fake. They don't tell us like, hey, just so you know, this is really just so they can sit here for 15 minutes, but like it's a remote control car anyways, it doesn't really matter. I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't know enough about IMSA. This is me kind of being a dumbass, but it's like they don't actually, I feel like in IMSA they're not actually at threat of like dying on track. Like they're fine. They're fine, but they might be out of virtual energy. But it's like they're fine. Like they can still drive it. It's not gonna die.
Yeah, I don't know.
With the Formula E cars, I'm like, could they die on the side of it? Like if they run out of fuel, run out of energy, would they
but we've seen them die. We've seen them die.
That's true. But then with like the new pit strategies and stuff, are people gonna be like, ooh, I'm gonna play it close and I might run out of energy? I don't know.
And then do we have to call it, instead of like Scott Dixon being like a fuel saving master, we're gonna be like they're energy savers? Because I don't know if I fuck with that.
They're like LED light bulbs. They're good energy savers.
Energy savers.
Also, speaking of Scott Dixon,
okay.
They today in the F1 broadcast, they said, quote, "You can never count out Max Verstappen." And I was like, I've been here before. No, it's all coming back to me. I know what this is. He's been fuel saving the whole fucking time. I know what's happening. I literally was like, deja vu. I was like, this motherfucker's got us all tricked. We all thought he was going to lose the race, but he's not. He's going to win it all by fuel saving. And then I'm like, fuck, that's not where we are. They can't fuel save you. He's just fast. Fuck. But I thought you would like that. I was like, MJ's going to love that they said that.
I've heard a lot of people like on TikTok saying you can't count out Max Verstappen. I was like, they say that about my good buddy from the past. Have you ever heard of the Iceman? A different Iceman, but still the Iceman.
Yeah. You guys keep that in mind when in a couple months IndyCar everybody remembers it exists again. You're going to want to come back, okay? Okay, we got a guy too.
Put a pin in it.
Never count out. Can't wait till we talk about IndyCar again for reals.
I miss her. So I literally miss IndyCar so bad. Like, Kyle Kirkwood for some reason fucked off to New York, and Andretti went with him, and he was at like a Rangers game, and he was trying pizza, and then he went to the premiere of not Ryan Gosling. Who's the other one? A Glenn Powell movie, and I was like, we are talking about literally anything other than IndyCar, but like at least we're getting something.
At least he's having fun, I guess.
He's having so much fun.
I don't have anything else on our doc.
I
guess that's the end of our episode. It's been go ahead.
Supercars next weekend. Everyone tune in. Mm-hmm. I don't have the times. I'll post them. I will post them actually this week. I always say that. I will post them this week. It's a big one. Lots of stake.
If you guys are curious about how to watch Supercars, you can get a SuperView subscription that should last you through the end of the season for I think
it's
like
$10 a month.
Yeah.
So like, $9.99 a month.
I don't know. I mean, like cancel your fucking whatever you watch Fox on because you don't need it because we're not watching IndyCar. So who gives a fuck? Cancel that. Cancel probably Netflix. I mean, what's even on that? You know what I mean? Like who gives a fuck about Netflix?
Yeah,
so cancel that. And then use that money to get SuperView.
It's worth it. It truly is.
I agree. And then I'm going to cancel it as soon as the supercar season is over because I'm sorry.
No, same.
I don't have all that kind of money. We're in a recession here in America. I don't know how you guys are doing over in Australia, but things are not looking too good for us. So I'm going to cancel that, okay? Thanks, though. This has been a sensible hour and a half episode. Probably too sensible. I know that we said we were going to be a Tuesday podcast. This is probably going to go up on Monday, so sorry about that. Stay on your toes. You'll never know when Laps Down will be posted. It's really up in the air. And also, I am moving this month. So if I'm in different locations when we film, or if things go up at a weird time, have patience. It's not MJ's fault. It's mine. Okay. Anything else, MJ?
I don't think so.
Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye.